Hey guys, I'm gonna back here for that video, guys. Today we have our quarterback DFS rankings for week 2. Keep in mind, our next video will be running back, the video after that wide receiver, video after that tight end, video after that defense. So all my rankings coming out today. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. But as always, I have my usage charts of how much these guys are gonna be used in DFS this week. Predicted points, yes, no, and maybe, the floor, and the ceiling of the player. So starting off right away, our number one quarterback is Josh Allen. And if you watched the Jets game the other night, you probably don't want to go with Josh Allen. But I think he should be fine to, jump back into this and, be as good as he was before. He had a bad game versus the Jets. Jets have a great defense. And now he goes against the Raiders, who, arguably enough, they have around the 16th ranked, 16th ranked defense versus quarterbacks. Obviously, there was only one game being played, guys, so there's not much we can go off of. They played Russell Wilson last week, and Russell Wilson really didn't look that bad, but it is Russell Wilson. So Josh Allen should play a lot better this week. I know he had 13 points last week, but that was because of 3 interceptions and a fumble. So right there alone, that's 8 points he lost just because of the turnovers. The Raiders defense should not be able to cause turnovers as much as the Broncos defense will in this upcoming game. Not the Broncos defense, as much as the Jets defense will in this upcoming game. I don't know why. I'm thinking about the Broncos still. Russell Wilson and the Broncos are still in my brain. Other than that, though, I do have his predicted points here at 20 points for the day. I think he's probably going to have 20, 25, but I'm going to go with the low end just because of the fact that this Raiders defense did not look abysmal last week. They only allowed 13 points to the Russell Wilson and the Broncos. I have his usage at 70 points, but usage at 70%. And I have his ceiling, though, at 40 points. So this guy could go off this week. And that's why he's the number 2 quarterback on the slate. The number 2 for my slate is going to be Patrick Mahomes. And, of course, that's because Travis Kelce is back. Travis Kelce's back. He's going to be playing this weekend, and that's why, of course, my man Patrick Mahomes is all the way up here at 8,300. Keep in mind, guys, when I do these slates, we are doing the main slate here, so this does not include Sunday night, Monday night, well, both Monday night games, or the Sunday night game, or the Thursday game. I put out all my predictions for the Thursday game before it happens, and they were on the channel, so again, like I said, just a little key tip there. Certain quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett will not be on this list. We're only looking at 24, which is 12 total games. Patrick Mahomes, I have him listed at a 65% usage. I think a lot of people are going to be on this game, especially with the fact that, Jacksonville is a team that could score a lot in this game. And we could see a lot of scoring from the other side with Patrick Mahomes here. I have his ceiling at 40 points, and I think he could do really good in this game. Going down the list a little bit here, I got 2 maybes, and the 2 maybes I have are Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff. The reason why Lamar Jackson is a maybe, and it's not just because last week, they scored, 26 points, I want to say? Yeah, 26 points, and still Lamar Jackson came away with not really the greatest numbers. He had a total of 8.6 points, which usually we like Lamar Jackson because of the fact that he gives us a floor with his rushing ability. But last week, he did not. He did not run the ball at all. He was very much, a passing quarterback. And he only threw for 160 yards, and he threw an interception. So, with all that being said, 8.6 points is why he's a maybe. But it's also because he's playing a lot better defense this week. Last week, he got the Texans, who I don't really think is that good of a defense. This week, he's going against the Cincinnati Bengals. And although, yes, the Bengals lost last week 24-3, if you really watch that game, they only allowed 6 points in the first half until the final 10 seconds of the first half, where Deshaun Watson ran a touchdown. Their defense played lights out. It had 2 sacks. It also had an interception in that game. They have a very, very good defense led by a very good defense coordinator in Lou Anarumo. I don't think this game's going to go Lamar Jackson's way. And now we recently learned this game might be a rain fest. It might be rainy in this game. So, again, another rainstorm for Cincinnati. And there's the reason why I have Joe Burrow here at number 13 and not in the top 10 is because of the fact it might be a rain fest again. Even though Joe Burrow is, I think, He's like the 5th or 6th highest priced quarterback on the slate. And I do have him here. Also, I have Joe Burrow as a yes, and I'll get to that in a second. But that's why, again, like I said, I don't really like Lamar Jackson that much. The second guy I have here is Jared Goff, and again, he is another maybe. I'm kind of on the fence to see how this game goes with the Lions. I want to have the faith that the Lions are going to do really good this season, and, the hype is real, and it's not just, all just, I'll say, all just hype. I want to believe it's real, right? But the problem is, they're playing Seattle this week. Now, Seattle last week looked awful versus the Rams. I don't think Seattle is going to look awful back-to-back weeks. I think Seattle is going to get it going this week. They're going to, be, hey, listen, okay, we played awful last week. We really got, steam piled. This week we'll play a little bit better. And I do think the Lions win this game, surprisingly enough. I just don't think the Lions are going to do that great on offense in this game. Maybe they end up doing it, but I really think if they do good on offense, it's going to come down to Gibbs. I think Gibbs is going to be the, X factor into the season. And we saw last week he was using the receiving game. He was also using the run game. And I think they're going to realize that he's better than David Montgomery, right? So I think they're going to start utilizing him more in this upcoming game. And that's going to take away from Jared Goff's success. I still think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get his, and Sam Laporta is a very viable option, but I'm probably going to say a tad bit I'm off Jared Goff as much. All right, the next guy down here for the maybes is Brock Purdy. Give me one more week. If he does good this week against the Rams, I will fully be bought in and commit to the Brock Purdy Express. But I need to see another week, okay? The Steelers defense, based on what we understand, might just not be that good, okay? They might just not be that good. I'm not trying to make excuses. I just want to see another week, and then I'll be bought in. Obviously, Daniel Jones is a no. He plays Arizona, but I think Saquon Barkley is just going to, in this game against Arizona, especially Arizona, because they're not that tough of an opponent, I think Saquon Barkley is just going to be like, listen, Daniel Jones, sit down and let me win this game. Let me take care of this team, okay? This is my team, Daniel Jones. I should have gotten paid. You shouldn't have gotten paid. But you know what? Let me go win the game. Let me go take care of this myself. So I do have Daniel Jones as an absolute no. Even though he is the vanilla of Michael Vick, I would say no. Dak Prescott. It's a favorable matchup. I like the matchup for Dak. Now, I don't think last week is going to repeat itself where, the defense for the Cowboys is going to own this game and completely control this game against the Jets here. And yes, I do... See, I say that, but at the same time, I don't know because it is Zach Wilson. It was Aaron Rodgers to be completely different. But because it's Zach Wilson, I think there's possible defense could get 1 or 2 interceptions. But even then, I don't think the Jets are going to be able to score that many points in this game. If the Cowboys run Tony Pollard like they should do in this game versus the Jets defense, then it's might get out of hand, and Dak does really nothing in this game like he did last week. So I don't really love him too much. I think he has potential. I don't like his price tag 6,600 just for the return that you could get in this game. I just don't like it. All right, so now let's go down to Joe Burrow because I do want to talk about Joe Burrow and kind of glance over him. Joe Burrow, yes, last week was absolutely horrendous. 82 yards overall wise, and that was a, awful showing, right? That is week 1. It was in Cleveland. This time he gets to play at home in front of his crowd in Cincinnati. He got a new haircut, which apparently is like a good omen for him. Whenever he gets haircuts, he plays good the next week. I don't... That's like the most weirdest statistic I've ever heard in my life. But overall wise, I think he will have a bounce back game. Okay, this guy, he's not a bad quarterback. He's one of the best in the league for a reason. And if you look at last year, we kind of try to go off last year and the year before that, Joe last year started off the game versus Pittsburgh throwing 3 interceptions and fumbling it once, kind of like Josh Allen did. The next week after that, he played the Cowboys. He played a lot better. And they did end up still losing, but he played immensely better in that second game, and I think he will bounce back just fine. So I do like him here at the price tag. $6,900 is expensive, but you can stack him up with Jamar Chase. You can stack him up here with T. Higgins, and you can buy back in with Zay Flowers. So I do like that matchup. My next 2 maybes, and my final 2 maybes here, are going to be Sam Howell and Geno Smith. And again, like I said, the Geno Smith factor is still, I want to see how that goes. And I still believe in Sam Howell. So that's pretty much that. It's the Geno. I want to see how the Seahawks bounce back. They should bounce back very favorable in this matchup. Detroit's not that tough a defense. I think they're good defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to shut down completely Geno Smith. I think Geno might be able to get some rushing ability in this game. And both of them, Sam Howell and Geno here, they have very favorable price tags of 5,900 and 5,400. So that's more reasons why I actually do like them in this upcoming game. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.